Mm, Are you there? Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, we should be live and it says live. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do that correctly, but I think I did. Hey, coach. I don't see
Hey,
I don't see you, but I guess maybe that's because you're on your phone. And can you
well,
hear me?
I'll work on it, but I did an update on my phone
Okay.
and I don't know how to work anything anymore because it's all different now.
All right. Are you able to hear me?
I hear you fine. Can you hear
Okay.
me fine?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. Okay, well, welcome everybody. Welcome to our live stream on my Facebook page. And for those of you who might catch me live, it will definitely be just by chance. But I am here and I'll share this. Well, I can't share this to your page, but you can share this to your page afterwards. Today is the day before Easter Sunday. So, what's going on with you, sis? You out of town or going out of town? What is it?
I'm I am yes, this is what do they call it? Resurrection weekend. Happy Resurrection weekend.
Okay.
Um I am out and about because literally when I get off the road and come into New York, I'm here for all of 7 to 12 days.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot that there's a lot that I have going on all the time. So even right now, you might hear all that background noise. I'm not gonna put my headset on because it's like when
Okay.
I have my headset on, you even hear it even more. But I leave for Albuquerque, Mexico to serve with our coach Lisa, and so I'm running around getting some last minute stuff because when I come back to New York, I'm going to be here for maybe 2 days, and then I head off to a conference in Philadelphia.
Okay.
So I will
Fantastic.
be packing tomorrow and really getting things together for the trip on Monday.
Okay. Now, what is the name of the event that you're doing in Mexico? Is it a retreat or is it
No, it's
a,
not a retreat. It is a workshop, a 5 day workshop with Lisa called When My Soul Speaks. So
oh,
it's also a workshop that there's stuff done online. But everything, mostly what Lisa does always has to do with speaking, but she also
mhm.
does the personal development work behind it.
Yeah.
So we'll do a couple of days where we focus more on the personal development part. And then we will spend the last 3 days where we're focusing more on the speaking part. But the majority of the people that will be there have either already been through Ignite or they are going to, or they've been in some kind of one of the legendary speakers workshops. But,
Mhm.
you know,
Fantastic. Well, this
yeah.
is great. This is a great opportunity for you and the others that are going along, and for those who are actually participating in the workshop. I've always been impressed with her Ignite Your Speaking, those opportunities to just grasp the information on how do you become a great speaker. And when you start to do that, I always feel that when you put yourself in those uncomfortable situations, that is when you start to become comfortable and recognize all the strengths that are within yourself. Because if you keep sitting back, waiting for someone to keep pushing you and nudging you, which could happen, but when you just like, okay, I'm going to do this, the way that she encourages you, as well as the accountability groups that goes along with that, it makes you a stronger person, I think. So, and when I say that this is going to bode well for you, the opportunities that you are now having, I'm sure is being reflected from things that you've been able to do by working along with what she's taught. So kudos to you for being deeply and very closely aligned with her teachings. So that's really, really fantastic. So it is Easter Sunday tomorrow. I'm not really going
Are you
to.
going to South Carolina? Are you going to Greenville,
I'm
Borough?
yes, it's Greensboro. Yeah, I'll be leaving sometime this evening, going to Greens Snow Camp where email is, And let's see, what did I do? You know, I'm always doing something. Let me get it. Let me get it. I don't know how much of it, how much of it you can see, but I think we talked about, well, St. Patrick's Day. So, oh, can
Oh
you
my God.
see?
Oh, I
So,
can see you just fine.
okay, so this is now I'm going to do probably a monthly series for email. This is his St. Patrick's Day booklet. Let's see. St.
That
Patrick's
is
Day.
just too
I
cute.
know, wherever down at the bottom, I don't know. It's St. Patrick's Day tale. Email St. Patrick's Day tale. And it's about his green floppy hat. And then I ran out of ink. So there's a black and white picture page of him and just some pictures of something. And then he couldn't wait to get home to tell his mom and dad and grandma about his day. And,
Oh, so pretty.
so that's
So
what,
so you're gonna do a series?
well, I said a series, but maybe I'll just do something every month for a holiday. And I think when he's, I don't know, 10 and he can read, well, he might just pick it up and it'll help him remember little special things about what he did from one month to another. I'm thinking that he'll enjoy it. I'll have to just wait and see. But anyway, I enjoyed putting it together. You just need to make sure that you got an ink and know how to put the paper in. I think I put the paper in the tray, just like most technology stuff with me. Like, now how do I turn this page to get this page on here? So,
Uh-huh.
but anyway, it is complete and it is done. So they are here now, not here in my house, but they're here in Charlotte. They went to an Easter egg hunt of sorts today. So they'll spend the night. And then Sunday, they may go to church. And I'm going with my friend Mary that you've met. We're going to go out for Easter dinner.
Brunch.
Yeah, something like that, right after church. I'm just not going with them to church. I'm just going to the brunch. Then I'll leave for snow camp after that. So I'll be there Sunday. Before midnight, I'll be in Snow Hill. So I'm looking forward to that. That's something good to do. Other than that, life is just moving along, rolling along, and
So
I'm
are you still going to Greensboro during the week? Because I think Emil is in school or in
yeah,
daycare or something now.
yeah, that's why I'm going. His daycare, no, well, his mother is going to um, San Diego for a conference, and his daycare is closed Monday, but she has to work, so she'll be working from home on Monday, and I'll just be watching him on Monday. But Tuesday through Friday, I'll take him to daycare because
Okay.
she will not be there. But I'll be back home by at least by Sunday, if not Saturday, for next Saturday's Ready Steady
Oh,
Go Live.
okay. But now that he's in school, you're not there like,
No, and not every day during the week. No, no, I'm not there.
are you
every-
missing him?
Yeah, I do. And I said that it seems that I need to find something else to do. I still do online classes, but I wasn't doing that many online classes when I was watching him during the day. And now I'm not watching him during the day. And it's just like I need something else for my day. I'm not really sure how I'm going to fill that time up, but I'll come up with something. Um, but I'll figure it out. I'm not that bored, but a little bored, but not that bored, but a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll see what it is that I think that I want to do. I've been going to the gym or
Really?
to
What have you been? So what do you? Or
just
do you
walk.
have a routine or what?
No, the routine is just to walk for about 45 minutes to an hour, just walking around the perimeter of the inside track. I just walk and I see what other people are doing, but I'm not really interested in doing the group exercises where, they may be sitting in a chair, not all sitting in a chair, but that's a part of, uh, it's, to me, it's more senior than I am. they're not hardly moving, but if I'm only walking, that's not as vigorous as probably what they're doing. But I'm not interested. Honestly, I'm not interested in doing that. And the little activities that they're doing, you have to sign up for them like a month in advance because it fills up. And I don't know that that's what I want to commit myself to. It might be, um, I don't know, playing cards or bingo. Okay. Okay. I think you dropped off, but
Huh?
I said, I think you dropped off, but you're back now.
I was trying to figure out. Remember, I told you I updated my phone, and when you do that, you don't know what it leaves on, what it turns off, or anything until you get on it. And
Okay.
so all I kept seeing was the sign that says allow allow Zoom to access your camera. I'm saying
Okay.
Zoom has always had access to my camera. What changed? And then I have to remember, oh, you changed the settings. And
Okay.
this is one of the go-to things, you know, that we encourage, our community to do.
Uh-huh.
I may not have been able to be seen when we first came on
Right.
but I'm still trying to figure it out even while I'm on the phone. So
I got
part of the problem was I wasn't reading the whole thing. I was
you.
just hitting okay. When I stopped and read the rest of it, it says go to settings. I'm thinking just because I hit okay, it's turning it on, and it
Automatically.
didn't do that. So it said go to settings, go into Zoom. It tells you everything to do. And so I did that. And when I
Uh-huh.
turned the camera on, it disconnected me from you. Now
Ah,
I know that going forward, but I knew I was going to come right back in. And and,
okay.
and, and I'm glad that I have a background because, I'm out in a public space right now. So I'm glad when it came on that
Yeah,
it came on with the
with that
background.
background. Well, that's fine. Okay. So I was just saying that at the community center, they have monthly events. However, you need to register for them. And I don't know that I want to make a commitment that far in advance. And I haven't really missed anything from the things that they've had, like bingo or card games, and cooking. They have lots of different things, but I don't think that's what I want to commit myself to either. And you have to, it's a nominal fee, like $5, 10 or $15, but I don't know that I really want to do that. So I'll just stick to my walking. So I just walk almost every day. I walk. I don't have a certain time I go. It's just whenever I feel like going, I just go. It's always in the morning though. It's always in the morning. Um, so
And you walk for at least 45 minutes.
yeah, at least 45 minutes and sometimes up to an hour. It just depends on what I'm feeling like. And
So
rare,
actually, and how long have you been doing that?
about a month now. About a month.
So that is actually a practice for you, and that practice is good. And I think that we often think that we have to do all of these things when we go to the gym. I think we think, oh my God, I got to work out. Oh my God, I got to swim. Oh my God, I got to lift weights. Oh my God, I got to, and you don't.
No.
Any wellness practitioner will always say the best, most economical thing a person can do is to
Mhm.
walk.
Yeah.
So anyone who's not doing any exercise at all,
Hmm.
I urge you to take Dr. Priscilla's, uh, take her, be motivated by, what she is doing right now, because walking, puts the body into motion. And
Hmm.
just walking, it doesn't even have to be running. As a matter of fact, when you get our age, you don't need to be doing a lot of running. And I'm not saying
Okay.
not doing any running, but you don't need to be doing a lot of running because you're just, it's a lot of weight impacted on the knees and on the ankles. I'm not saying don't run at all. I'm just saying, a lot of people that are out here running 5 and 10 miles 4 and 5 times a week, and they're older, it is
Hmm.
not necessarily the kindest thing we
Mm-hmm.
could be doing to our knee joints and
Mm-hmm.
our ankle joints.
Right. And in addition to my walking, yay me, I have introduced uh, um, I want to say it's a juice, but it's not a juice. It's more like
Smoothie.
a smoothie. So when we were in Paris, they had this wonderful green juice. It was pineapple, green apple, cucumber, ginger, and lemon. And I had my blender. I made some for Marika today. And my blender, my Ninja, and but I think I've been drinking it up for about 3 weeks now since I've been back from a trip, and it's pretty. It comes out pretty good. So it's a smoothie, and I drink 1 cup. So because mine's is more liquid than it is a smoothie with a spoon,
Uh-huh.
but it still has the pulp and everything in it. So it's not really a liquid, but I eat that. I drink that with my breakfast. So I feel good about that. And of course, well, not necessarily, of course, but Haseen said that was good to drink that. And I don't know that I've really had ginger because Marika had ginger, but I only know she used ginger by hearing her say that ginger is in it. I think of ginger as being on a spice, but when I went to the store, it looks like claw feet, this thing that is ginger. So I got some ginger. You know what I'm talking about? It's
I
just
know exactly.
uh,
I put ginger in all my juice.
okay. So now I
I
use
know
ginger.
exactly ginger.
All
And
right.
a lot of times ginger and turmeric, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's another, it's ginger and some kind of artichoke. I forget
Okay.
what they call it, but it's an artichoke that
Uh,
will remind you of ginger. It's
okay.
smaller, but it looks like smaller clossy or something
Uh,
like that.
okay.
Yeah.
So I put that. I've had that. So it's healthy. It's a healthy drink, and I'm drinking my water. Um, I I feel like I've always felt that I was a person who had energy. So I can't say that I'm just have overflowing with energy and blah 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 blah. But I don't feel any worse off for it, and I believe it's something healthy. So I'm better off drinking it. I'm not drinking a soda. But I didn't really drink sodas anyway. You know, not Coca Colas anyway. I might drink ginger ale or something like that. But I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to eat better. And I made a chicken salad, um, combination thing. Maybe Monday,
Eating
but I'm
more
finished.
vegetables.
I'm finished with it.
Are you
You,
eating more vegetables? It sounds like.
I'm eating more vegetables. I've got collard greens that I've cooked in the freezer. Chicken. I'm eating more chicken than other meats, but I've got shrimp in the refrigerator, salmon. So, but I know I'm doing much better eating than I was previously. So that's just a great check mark for me. And that might be the thing that I need to focus on, watching videos on how to prepare a variety of dishes. So I'll practice with Edwin next week because you have no one but myself to cook for, I'll just cook that one thing and eat it all week, which is perfectly fine. But I'll cook something different
For
um,
him.
for him. So,
I think that is, since you just said that, I was talking to my daughter
mhm.
yesterday. I was talking to
Yeah.
my daughter yesterday, and we'd gotten on the phone because it was my cousin's birthday, and
Mhm.
about 16 or 17 family members got on to wish him a happy birthday,
Oh, how
and
sweet.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. And so afterwards, and then I called my daughter like at the last minute. I remembered, oh my God, here's the link, come in. And she did. And I didn't think she was, but she did. She came in. We had a good
Uh-huh.
time on the phone. And
Uh-huh.
so when it was over, she called me.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was eating. And she was like, what are you eating? I was like, I'm eating chicken. And she said, did you cook it? I was like, I don't cook. I said, that's why I miss you the most. I was like, I make salads. I don't cook, but I will make salads.
Yeah.
Because I know that the most important thing I can do for myself, because really once you cook most foods, there are some foods, I think like onions, maybe, what else? Maybe tomatoes. There
Mhm.
are some foods that are more potent when you cook them because of chemically what's going on in that
Mhm.
process.
Okay.
But,
Mhm.
but you know, I know that eating food in its most original state is the best way to get nutrients into the body. And
Okay.
so I make salads. So I don't
Okay.
beat myself up. I don't really beat myself up about cooking. And she was just laughing at me. She's like, I can't believe that you won't cook. I was like, honey, I told you when you went to college, and at this point, she went to college 20 years ago. I was like,
Right.
I told you when once you went to college, my job was done. I don't care if I don't ever cook anything again. But I do cook,
I
but
understand.
it's not something that I do every day. I will go to the store, and not fast food places, because I don't do a lot of fast food places.
Uh-huh.
I don't do Burger Kings or Pizza Hut or McDonald's or Chipotle. I don't do those places. I will if I'm on the road traveling across country, maybe,
Mhm.
but I prefer that we stop at a restaurant type place where I can get something that's closer to a home cooked meal. So,
Mhm.
and they have lots of places like that in New York, which is the beauty of New York. So usually I'll stop at Whole Foods because they have a great prepared food section,
Yeah.
hot food, and I'll pick something up. And then
Mhm.
I'll go home and make a salad, or I'll saute. And that's going to be dinner for me,
Mhm.
and I'm very happy with that. Uh, yeah.
And
So,
and the Whole Foods, they have the nice, what single serving sizes, which is really good.
right, that they sell that you don't even have to go to. So, I guess one of the points that I'm wanting to share is it is not difficult to eat healthy. People
Mhm.
want to say it is, people want to say it doesn't taste good, and it's simply not true. I
Mhm.
think that if we learn how to change our perception, of what eating healthy is, because
Mhm.
people always want to assume that eating healthy is always me not eating all of the junk food that I like.
Mhm.
Okay, that part. So my position is buy a higher quality of junk food and eat
Mhm.
less of it.
Okay.
I'm
And I
not.
think I was going to say what we feel though, if it's not all you can eat for a particular price, we're not doing it. But I agree that a smaller portion, it may cost a little bit more, can be a healthy meal. And I'm all about that life. It can be a smaller portion, but I'm not accustomed to really eating a lot anyway. I just eat a lot of desserts. But when it's regular food, I don't think I really eat that much of it. So going out and eating, it's not that big of a deal for me. And because it's just one. Now, if I had to feed two or three at $30 a meal, no, I probably wouldn't. That's $90 a day. So, but when I go out and whatever I might eat, and I can't even remember except when I was in Paris that I spent $30 for a meal. But 15 to $20 if you go to um show Mars or and that's just a salad. That's $15, 13 to $15. But you got probably a decent piece of meat and a nice salad and an egg, cheese, onions. So that's not bad. And then I'm not eating 3 or 4 times a day. I might just eat twice a day. And that twice a day might be the first meal will be grits, a slice of toast, and coffee. So that holds me over until like, oh, I'm feeling hungry, and I'll just go get chicken, grilled chicken, on a bit of lettuce or whatever. So Anyway, I just make it work. I'm making it work for me. Whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm making it work for me. But I do drink my little green juice in the morning with my breakfast, whether it's oatmeal or usually it's oatmeal or grits. That's all I've eaten pretty much so far. So I've been taking myself out to enjoy a pancake.
So do you put any blueberries or bananas? Do you like any of those fruits? Do you take
Oh
the
yeah.
opportunity to, because there are small things that we could do to a bowl of oatmeal. So if you're eating a bowl of oatmeal every day, I think that's great. But there are
Yeah.
different things that you can do to that oatmeal on a daily basis, whether
Yeah.
it's one day throw some strawberries over there, or if you like the little cutie oranges, you
Yeah.
know, cut some of those up, and if they're sweet, put them over there. Cut apples up, put that over it. What nut
That's
do
good
you
too.
like? What
And
is that?
this is not for the oatmeal, but this is just something that I can put in. I don't know where I can put this. I can put this
That's
in
granola. You can put that in.
my
You can
smoothie on top of
granola.
my.
A lot of times what people eat when they tire of oatmeal
Uh-huh.
is granola with yogurt. So
Mhm.
they'll have
Yeah,
yogurt and oatmeal.
and I put that over, and I put that over. I put Greek yogurt, Greek yogurt, the granola, and then sometimes I put the um, whatever. Yeah, these I live.
Absolutely. And you can put that now. You can put that same thing in your oatmeal. You can take
Yeah.
some of those, put it in your oatmeal, and
Mhm.
one day have peaches and pineapples, and the next day have
Yeah.
strawberry apple. And that way you and in that way you're creating more of a variety of chemicals that are being released in the body to help
Mhm.
build pharmacy that I'm always talking about, what we
Exactly.
in the body. But if I'm just going to eat oatmeal every day and I'm going to eat it the same way every day, then
Mhm.
it's good for me, but it could be better. I
Mhm.
can get a greater nutritional experience for myself and my body.
I think this is likened to when you say if you travel to a different place, you see something different that you hadn't seen before. So your body gets to experience a different type of texture of food, flavor, and it may create some type of movement in the body that would not normally happen because I'm accustomed to doing this way. Oh, this is different. And your body has to do a different twist or a different turn. And even with teas, I think teas are similar to that too. It's not always necessary to drink green tea, but whatever other teas. So it's just what we're saying. Just spice it up, spice it up. And I think that's what it means by spices of life. If you do the same thing every day in and out, it's just boring. You don't know what excitement is until, oh, this is different. This is nice. And that's why people paint their house, their inside of their rooms and houses and stuff, I think, because they just want a change of pace. They want something different. Um,
And you're very right. But what I also want people to understand is you're not just spicing it up. The thing that you are doing different mostly is releasing chemicals when we have experiences that we don't have ordinarily, right? You don't go to Paris every month. So
mhm,
going to Paris, all kinds of chemicals were being released in your body that probably hadn't been released in a really long time since you did something that might be similar to exploring and going somewhere where you didn't go, because it's a whole new energetic space that
mhm,
you're going to be in. And those chemicals are the chemicals that we call on when we get sick, when viruses are out there. If my immune system, which is connected to my pharmacy, if my body is just releasing the same chemicals over and over and over, day in and day out, because basically I live in my little comfort zone and I only eat this, I only do this, I only, I only, I only. I catch myself saying that all the time too. You know,
Mhm.
life at the end of the day, ain't none of this stuff we doing we can take with us. So at the end of the day, what life really is about the different experiences that
Mhm.
are available to us to have. And with those different experiences, we
Uh-huh.
release different chemicals, and those chemicals become the chemicals that are part of our pharmacy and protect us from the things, the toxins, and whatever else.
Mhm. You are totally, totally right. And this is why it's good to have children in your lives. Like to see Emil walking around, and he's doing so much better now. He doesn't walk so stiff-legged. He's got a little flow, a little swagger, if you will, to his little walk. So you just a change of pace, environment, even going to the World's Fair or to an amusement park and getting on a ride, whether it's a kiddie ride or a scary ride, it awakens something within your body. People like Halloween because they scared the stupidity out of them. Not stupidity, but it scares them to death. So they get a different something reaction to whatever's going on in the environment. So the human body, the mind, it's amazing, which now leads us back to being able to speak. That fear of speaking, the fear of speaking, it isn't going to kill you, but they say, what are the greatest fears? And it's fear of, I don't know, speaking is one of them. And then maybe two others that say the top three. But once you get over the fact that you're not going to die, going up and standing in front of a group of 2 or 22 or 20,000, you realize you're not going to die. You just need to know what it is that you want to talk about, be prepared, and then go forth. Then you can take the next, and the next. And before, you can throw a stick at what was I afraid of before? When I can just talk about whatever I'm prepared to talk about, that it's a good thing. But you first got to believe that you can do it, and just do it with what she said. What did she say? Knees knocking and teeth chattering. Just do it. Um, and you become a success, not an overnight success, but you become more successful than you were when you weren't doing anything. And yeah, so that's one of the things that I will probably take with me. You aren't going to get over it until you do it. You're not going to get over this fear until you do it. It doesn't mean that
Precisely.
It doesn't mean that if you see a snake, you have a fear of snakes, that you should just go and go poke the snake. No, that's not what I'm saying. You don't go poke the snake. You prepare. And then if you want to be around snakes, you know how to respect the snake and respect what the snake can do. And when you realize that, you'll know how to approach a snake. Maybe I just need to look at that snake through the glass. I don't necessarily need to pick up the snake. And another thing, people say, you want to be close to your family if that is your case, but your family isn't really wanting to interact with you, or you aren't really wanting to interact. Pick up the phone and just say, hey, just thought I'd call and say hello. They don't have to answer, or you don't have to answer, but that connection is there. And you don't have to just be up in someone's face to let them know that you care. You can do just a little thing and go with that. Um, and Facebook for me, I I I hear all of these things that people say about how much they love their significant other, and but don't tell me, tell them. Tell them how you feel about them, because you're telling me on Facebook make me really kind of question, but not too long. Is it really true? Do you really feel this sincere? But yet you can tell a stranger, but you're not telling that person that this is how you feel. And yeah, people do need to talk and get it out and air it out. But that's why I think accountability groups are good. they're a little more private and intimate, and you know that the people that are listening to you most likely will have your best interest at heart. When I listen to people complain about this, that, and the other, maybe you shouldn't be telling 50 million people about this. Maybe you should find your select group to tell, because the thoughts that I had might not be wholesome and healthy. Not that I'm going to give. And typically, what I do is I don't ever, rarely do I give an unlike, but if someone says something that I think is wholesome and healthy, I'll give a like, but I don't comment. I don't have a comment for someone else to come on and say whatever they say. I mean, I do say some things, but some things might be better left in a smaller group. Yeah, because you're not gonna get over it just by posting this on social media. But anyway, whatever
Yeah,
my
I
whatever.
think you're saying some very solid things. And it's interesting. You know, I feel the same way a lot of times. People are always easy, quick to, people are quick to talk about things to everybody else except for the person that they should be talking to.
Mm-hmm. As if I know the person that they're talking about. It could be somebody that has some similarities to what you're saying, but I don't have an issue with it. So it's falling on deaf ears. So, but again,
But
there's that thing that says birds of a feather flock together. So there are those who will jump on the bandwagon and they've got this to grump about, but nothing to offer and nothing positive to offer. So, you know. Oh, this is funny. I don't know if you'll get it, but this was funny. This is funny. Okay, so this is in line with what we're talking about. People are on complaining. So in this article or whatever, it was like a Dear Abby. It came up in my feed. So this woman said that she had got up early to get off, go home, go to work. She kissed her husband, good morning, goodbye, and left. And halfway to work, something happened to the car. The oil lights came on, the engine died, and she just didn't know what to do. And she sat in her car and she thought, what should I do? Should I walk home? Could I call someone? So she walked back home to tell her husband, who she had just kissed goodbye, that she had car problems and she didn't know what to do. But when she walked in, the door was still unlocked as she had left it. And her neighbor's daughter was in the bedroom with her husband. Like, what is this all about? And she said she was just so frantic and frazzled, she didn't know what to do. And so she was just reaching out for help. And a man responded to her, and he said, well, first, the next time that you leave the house, make sure that you check the oil light to see that the oil light is as it should be. And it might be a good idea to look under the hood because that may be a problem, a telltale sign there. So like, okay. And so that was it. And he said he hopes everything works out. Now, you could take that one or two ways. What was she really complaining about? And did you really understand what the issue might have been from her perspective? Because everyone doesn't necessarily see what you see as a problem. Whatever her problem was, but that thing just had me laughing. It was just funny if you kind of get it. It's not a giveaway. It's just like people see things
no,
differently.
it is hilarious. But what's so hilarious about it is that the man would say, he wouldn't address the fact that the husband was in the room with
The neighbor's daughter. Yeah.
but he's addressing
The
the
car.
oil. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So anyway, so there's always one way that you can look at it, or there's always two sides to a story. And you get to pick and choose how you want to respond to it. And it can be something that can be uplifting, or you can let it bring you down. And that's why motivational music is good, or children's stories, children music, not necessarily the children's stories. Because I think you told me, and I don't know that I had actually viewed cartoons as being as violent as they are, because they're just funny. The little kids cartoon makes me laugh, but they are kind of violent.
Oh my God, they're so violent.
But I
it,
did.
it, it, it's interesting that it's so interesting that we
We put our children right in front of the TV, like, okay,
with those violent cartoons. So we're programming them from, really young ages with this material that, it's got this really nice music going on behind it, but oh my God. It's just,
and
whoa.
email was here earlier with his parents, and he turned the TV on. I'm like, how does he know? How does he know to do that? And Edwin said they've already figured out how to get kids to do anything. They put that bright red button on the remote control. That's the first thing that Emil sees. He doesn't see all the other buttons. And so when he presses that button, the TV comes on. And from there, he'll just press another button and some other miraculous. And I mean, I just take for granted that that's the on off button, but I can also see it. And I'm thinking how quick they adapt. But they've had tests done, and analysis and study groups that
Absolutely.
kids can do anything. And I'm thinking that he's so talented. I mean, it is a talent, but no, the research has gone in there, put a big red button on there, he'll press it. so that's that. But
And
I have an amazing
from
grandbaby.
such an early age, can you imagine how powerful our children would be if from that really early age we were really teaching them what the connection to Mother Nature and the earth was, and really understanding parts of our energetic self that as adults we don't even know to this day how to access or how to use. It's like I can't wait till my daughter decides that she really wants to have a baby, which I always say. I told her, I was like, I don't really think you need to have a baby before you're 40. And I really don't. I don't think anybody really needs to have a baby before they're 40 in the world as it is today.
Okay.
Back in the day, I understand. In the world today, I think you just really got to be thoughtful, take your time, and really be involved, because what I've noticed is, and I'll get back to what I was saying, but because what I've noticed is that parents are not involved in their children's lives like our parents were involved in our lives when we were growing up. They don't have time because everybody's always working, or gotta go there, gotta go here, gotta go there, gotta go somewhere, and the majority, not all, but the majority of the kids, I don't care what ethnicity they are growing up almost raising themselves. And if they're not raising themselves, their grandmothers are raising them, but not their parents, because their parents are busy out in the street trying to continue to party or are working around the clock, And so it doesn't make a difference which one it is, because the point is they're not with the child. The child doesn't grow up with their parent. They grow up either by themselves. And that is why we are seeing, the dysfunction on such a high level that's happening to our children. I mean, we got a lot of work to do. So
yeah, we do.
The fact that at such an early age, what it is that we make accessible or create and have accessible to them, we have to be more thoughtful and want to do more that has to do with what will empower them. Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I see when we look at, and I'm just choosing the whole of Africa, when those children, some of those children that come from Africa who do not have access to the technology as we know it, and they're using their brains. They know how to do simple things. They're not simple things, but it's because they did simple things, played with rocks, played with stones, played with boxes, that their imagination just, it's free and it's open to ideas that I couldn't even think of. I can't think of anything that I can't think of, but their minds are just fluid. Oh, I understand this concept. You know, it's just like pouring water in a faucet, from a faucet into a pitcher, and the smaller the hole. All I know is just get the water from one container to the next. But they played with this idea from child because those were their toys. That this is how you get blah 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 blah. Or I don't know if you saw this little boy on Facebook or somewhere who made a Coca-Cola dog. I'm like, he just made a Coca-Cola dog out of the bottles. And it was so strategically organized. The red was together, the white was together. That was just an amazing piece of work. And I hope that Coca-Cola gets to see it and can find some value and reward that little boy for that talent, because it was amazing. And some of the artwork that you see that comes out of Africa, like, I mean, it's not a Mona Lisa, but I think I have a greater appreciation for it than Mona Lisa. So
I feel you, and that makes a lot of sense. I love that you said and hope that they would reward you because, with all of the everything that they have, I do not know why these companies hesitate in rewarding people for doing great things. Yeah, they should reward him on a level that is just, outstanding.
yeah.
But will they? But will they? Yeah. My favorite new thing that I say, especially to young people, well, it's capitalism. What can I say? I blame everything on capitalism. And it's not that really I'm blaming everything on capitalism. I'm simply pointing it out because that is really what it is. We live in a capitalist society, and it has not served the majority of the people. It serves a small group of people, and some kind of way they brainwashed us into believing, but that's okay because one day I'm going to have that much money and I want to be governed by those laws, as opposed to the reality is, most likely that's not going to happen. It may happen for a very small percentage of people, but for the majority of us, it's not going to happen. So let's look at why don't we look at some other ways
Alternatives.
huh?
Some alternatives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some alternatives in terms of first of all, why don't we have choices? If I want to, I want and we do. We just don't really practice them because they're not practiced on the level that capitalism and some of these other isms are. But most of these isms do not serve the majority of the people. So I'm liking seeing communities of people come together. And like, I know there are communities where there are like older females who are single that end up purchasing a house together and living in that kind of way, so that they don't end up in assisted living programs where other people are taking the best care of them, and
Yeah, that's an idea. I had not thought about that. I didn't know people were doing that. That's fantastic.
oh, there are all kind of communities out here where single moms, whose husbands left, and then you go from having a lot to almost having nothing. And then so they have communities like that where it's like it's sort of like a commune. And communes get a bad rap, but it's like a commune. You have community spaces like the kitchen and the dining room and the living room, and those are community spaces. And you might have a bedroom, and the bedroom might be your room, your bed, and your children's bed may be. It depends on how big the space is. but there's so many things out here that are available to us. And those are the things that we don't know about, because everyone wants us to believe that there's nothing but lack on the planet, when it's just the opposite. It's nothing but abundance. The lack comes from man's inability to create an environment where everyone can be comfortable. And there's no reason that we shouldn't be. There just really is no reason other than power and control. I just want to have power over people. I want to control people, you know, because I need that for my ego, or whatever the case may be. The average human being wants to be happy, wants to be healthy, wants a place to live, wants to go on a vacation once a year, not 4 or 5 times a year. But, you know, can I go on a good vacation once a year with my family, you know, and then be able to send maybe somebody, you know, send my kids to schools where they're getting good educations? Because, you know, our education system is probably one of the worst in the world. I'm just going to say that.
And the most expensive.
Everybody acts like we got this great education system. It is lacking on so many levels. So I tell people all the time, look, I can't get emotional about what they leave in, take out of school. I don't care. What I care about is if they're taking information out that we feel our children should have, where else can we provide that information for them? It is because the education system in this country is just, it's awful. It's just awful. Just as the healthcare system in this country is awful. Nobody in the world spends as much money on healthcare as Americans.
Yeah.
And we have the worst outcomes of anybody else in the world. How is that justified? You can't justify that. You can't. But yet and still, you know, everybody just keeps going through the system because I guess they feel like, well, there's nothing I can do. And that to me is the problem.
Yeah.
You feel like you can't do anything about it, because once I assume that position that I can't do anything about it, then basically I'm just going through life allowing somebody else to tell me which way to turn.
And that is what we don't want to use our brain. We don't want to do the research. I know you do a lot of research, but most people, and I'm one of those too in some cases, can you just tell me what to do instead of my looking into it, and don't question it? Well, so-and-so said that this is what I should be doing. I don't ask why, but maybe we need to start asking why. What we will do when it's almost, you know, too late, a little too late, we start to question, why is this? Why must we do this way? Oh, if you haven't seen Shirley on Netflix, you must watch it. It is fantastic. The movie on Netflix.
What's the name of it?
Shirley. And she was running for president of the United States. It was such a great movie that I've watched it twice.
Regina King is in it. Regina King's in that, right?
Yes, Regina King is playing as Shirley. She did an amazing job, and she looks like Shirley. She looks like Shirley. I didn't know that Shirley was from not Jamaica, but from one of the islands.
Yeah, Trinidad
and Tobago. Yes.
Yeah, she was. No, you know, I had a friend in Chicago who won a Peabody Award because she did a documentary on Shirley. I think it was Run, Shirley, Run. If I come across it, I'll send you the link. So I was quite excited to hear that they had done an actual film on Shirley. But the documentary I'm talking about, Shirley is in it. So I think it's called Run, Shirley, Run by Shala. Yeah, I know her last name now. I can't remember Shala's last name. But Shala was also the one that did the documentary on. She did the documentary on Angela Davis. As a matter of fact, when she did the documentary on Angela Davis, as I understand it, Angela never knew how she got caught, how the FBI actually found out where she was. And once Angela gave Shala the permission to go into and look at all those records, you know, that the
Mm.
FBI and whoever else had. That's when she found out. So it's a great story. I will definitely. You're about the third person that has asked me,
Okay,
have I
well,
seen
send
that?
both of them. You see, send both of those links if there's both two links. Yeah,
Okay, all
that
right.
was great. That was
I will.
great.
I will.
And
Now
this,
I'm going to tell you right now. If I get disconnected again, I'm not going to be able to come back because I think I got about 12% power. But we are close to time. We
yeah,
are live.
yeah.
Why can't I see what time it is?
Okay, you got 3 minutes.
Oh,
3
it's
minutes.
3 minutes.
We got
Oh,
3.
okay. So I'm good. We're good. We're good.
Yeah, I think.
I thought it
Yeah.
was longer.
No,
I
you
thought it.
got. We've got 3 minutes. So we just wanted. I just want to take a moment and say for those of you who have watched this live, I didn't check to see if anyone was watching us live. If you're watching us live, thank you so much for joining us. If you watch this as a replay, please just leave us a like or comment, and I'll respond to whatever it is that you might say. I'm always happy to be here to see you guys. Always great to see you, Coach.
It's
And
all you know, and I want, I want our audience and community to know that if we're not online, that's because we're working.
yeah,
So don't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna take this Saturday off." Most of the time, and Dr. P and I are gonna have to have some kind of thing where if I don't call her, she calls me because if I'm working, that's all I'm doing, and I don't even remember or think about what day it is. I just know,
yeah.
oh, it's another. I'm working,
It's
and
a
it's
day.
another day. And I work on Saturdays and Sundays. I don't have, you know, I don't have designated whole weekends off. You know,
Like most people, at least you go to work every day. This, you look forward to your weekends. I understand.
when
Yeah.
you're your own boss, that kind of like doesn't exist. So, I was at a conference last weekend and I'm telling you, I didn't even think about it until Sunday because I knew that day was Sunday.
Mhm.
And that's I went to Chicago because my friend was doing a play. So I went to Chicago and got in, left Saturday night, got in early Sunday morning, went to bed until 3 o'clock, went to the show at 6 o'clock, hung out until about 3 in the morning, came back to the house, went to bed, woke up in time to pack my bags and get back to the train station so I could get back to Memphis. So that's, and I'm not complaining
Right.
because, I am actively involved in creating this life that I'm
Mhm.
living, loving this life, but it is very busy.
This is your best life right now. This is the best life when you are in control, but it's because you were doing the things that you enjoy doing. So that's a huge plus, I think, for anyone that can actually do the things that they want to do. Can it be stressful? Yes, it can be stressful, but the reward and the benefit outweighs the stress that you experience as you're going through it. So
That part.
everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. Thanks, Coach. It's always good to have you, us to get together and do our thing.
I
So
feel the same.
we'll
Until
see
next
you.
week.
We'll see you same time, same bat channel. All right. Take
And
care, love.
then it's ready, set,
Set, go live.
and we'll see you guys next week.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, see you soon. Yeah.